Will, you look a little tense. What's wrong, buddy?
Moses, the Panther game is this Sunday.
No worries, Will. I give this Carolina team about an hour, maybe, before we're doing the Seahawk victory dance. Time to musk up.
What cologne are you going to use? Losing Gentleman or... Wait, no. Hold on. 12 Man's Delight.
No, they're getting a very special cologne, my friend. They're getting Loose Panther by Moses. Yes, Loose Panther. It's illegal in 9 sports leagues. Made with real bits of real Panther losses, so you know it's good.
It looks quite pungent.
Oh, yeah, it's affordable scent. Stings the nostrils, but in a good way, right? I mean, woo! They've done studies, 60% of the time, this works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, let's go see if we can make those little kitties lose this week.
And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome everyone to another special edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1107, the Panthers edition, as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Carolina Panthers. So do us all a favor, please, won't you? Grab a desired center.
Before you get going,
Hey, I'm talking to America here, right? Can you just hold on a second? All right, thanks. So, sorry, America. What I was going to say is grab a desired scent or beverage of your choice. Fasten your seatbelt. Make sure your tray table is up and your seat is up in the full upright position. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. And what can I tell you? Last week we said don't forget. This week we say don't forget, baby.
whoop, whoop.
That's right. Super Bowl champs. It is the week to remember. So we're going to have a very special week. Obviously, the Seahawks are wearing white at home for the first time ever, the last NFL team to do so. So there's a lot to talk about. We got a game to talk about from last week. So let's get started by introducing the posse. Over there is Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are things?
Good. Had my first full week of work. So that was good. Said I've been battling being sick a little bit this week. Of course, I was fine up until I started working.
Of course. Going to first day and go, can I have some sick days?
Yeah, no. I just had to tough through it. But it was good. Yeah, I'm liking it a lot.
Good.
And then got my subwoofers in my truck. So Lindsay's no longer riding in my truck, I guess.
She right in the back with the dogs.
Yeah. And then speaking of dogs, Kona, I thought was going to be up here. I guess, I was at work. And they were downstairs at lunch, and Grandma walked away to take a phone call, and Kona ate Grandma's sandwich off the table. She wasn't allowed to hang downstairs with Grandma for the rest of the afternoon.
She's grounded. That is our 12-Man Fan Jam Show mascot. She's grounded.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, Dustin, we're glad you're here. That's Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Very good. It was Dustin's first day at work. This was my first week off of work in quite some time.
Wow.
My first week off this year where I did not catch COVID. So I prefer it this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just kind of hanging out.
Ready for some Super Bowl 48 remembrances. I need to watch I need to watch that Season of Boom documentary on Seahawks.com.
Absolutely. Cool. Lomo and I were just talking about that before we got online. So, we're going to make sure we sit down and watch that for sure. This looks like a really good one. And, of course, I was mentioning Lomo. There's Lomo. Hi, Little Mo.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing with Abby there, a big sweetie?
Oh, who's a good girl?
She's a big sweetie.
Whole elbow is digging into my thigh.
Yeah, because she's 13. She's 13 years old, and she's skin and bones at this point, bless her heart. Her little back legs, they're like, just kind of walk like this. She's kind of like.
Yeah, me too.
I know she gets there. We all get there, Dustin, but we're glad she's here. We're glad you're here. And let's talk about how the show's run. Okay, 12-Man Fan Jam Show format. Our show is formatted just like a real NFL game. We have 4 quarters and a halftime. And this week's format, of course, in quarter one, we're going to have Will in the news and anything we may have missed in the NFL during the past week. Quarter two, we're going to review last week's game. This is a lot more fun than last week. We get to do a victory over the Lions, 37-31 in overtime. At halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
And I believe Matt won last week.
He's not here to prove it.
So you can't prove it. So it's a free-for-all for the three of you. In the second half, it's all about the Panther game coming up. We've got all kinds of stuff coming up. We got Dustin with the injury report. We've got Maddie, who usually does weather and fashion. We have Brick's picks for the from Mark for the NFL, and we also have a Seahawk positivity sermon by the Reverend Moses himself. We put all that together in the fourth quarter. We make our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. So while we're getting ready for all that, we like to remind you all that you can find us on the interwebs, many different places on the wonderful wide web. Of course, you can come to Facebook. We have a game day thread where we talk during the game. A lot of fun to be on that. So you can join us on our 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. We're on what used to be called Twitter. I guess it's X at 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel is what this program is on. You can email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. And I've been making a little highlight reel on 12-Man Fan Jam Show's TikTok. Just a little bit of highlights of each show, little snippets of each show to give you an idea what's going on. And, of course, we are a Seahawk Positivity production. Justin leaving so far has been the highlight. I will remind you that we are a Seahawk Positivity production. And with that being said, it's time for news. Yes, news around the NFL with our news hound, Will. Hi, Will. What you got for us?
Well, Moses, the Monday night game between the Browns and the Steelers was unfortunately most notable for the gruesome knee injuries that Nick Chubb suffered. And I hope he can come back from that. But it was also known for Steelers fans chanting "Fire Canada," which is not a reference to the entire country, but rather Pittsburgh's offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, who
I thought it was a South Park moment.
Basically, the only reason they won that game is because Deshaun Watson fumbled and was returned for a touchdown, and great use of $230 million there, Cleveland. But anyway, Matt Canada did address the not so satisfied fandom today of the ESPN. Quote, "The fans want us to win. They want us to play better. So there's nothing wrong with their passion in those things. And obviously we're not running away from it. We expect to be better. So we'll continue to work and we'll get it right and we'll get better," which they'll need to because they netted a total of -7 yards in the fourth quarter.
Wow. So Seahawks didn't have the best, didn't have the worst offensive half.
I expected Canada to say, he responded by saying, "Take off, hosers, eh?"
Right.
Well, they may have let it. They may have fired Quebec for us. I don't know.
Sacre bleu, not Quebec. Matt's not here, but he loves my French accent.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
spot on.
Baby, oh, do not fire Quebec. Wow,
that totally made me think of South Park. The whole "Blame Canada."
Me too. I say, "Blame Canada, blame Canada."
And hockey, Hugabaloo, and that bitch Anne Murray too.
They're not even real.
You watch what you say about Anne Murray now.
They are.
That woman's a saint. All right,
national treasure.
We love you, Canada.
We love you, Canada. Yeah. We love you, Anne Murray. Will,
Canadian Hawk.
Yeah. Andy Lennon I refer to as Canadian Hawk too many times. He's Northern Hawk, but yeah. Will, what else you got for us?
He could rip our heads off. So Andy,
he can. Love you, Andy. We're shouting out to everybody in the show.
I guess so. Moses, were you at the game last year where it was delayed for about 10 minutes or so when some numbnuts flew a drone overhead?
No, but I remember that.
Yeah, we showed up very next game. There were no drone signs all around the stadium. Well, it's kind of interesting because the FAA Reauthorization Act was passed this summer, which previously there was a no-fly zone 3,000 feet above and 3 nautical miles from the center of any stadium when a sporting event is being played. Part of this reauthorization act allows the FAA to grant a waiver to within 3/4 of a mile of a stadium during game day. Now, the reason for this, to quote U.S. Representative Sam Graves, quote, "It's also wrong that a construction crew wanting to use a drone to inspect a roof 3 miles away, just to give an example, has to wait until a ball game is over to do their job, or else they're breaking federal law."
Ooh.
However, the NFL, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, and the NCAA are all aggressively opposing shrinking the no-fly zone around stadiums for sadly obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So this will be an interesting thing to watch going forward.
Yeah.
A lot of individuals and others will want to fly over large crowds to advertise, and in that congested airspace, an accident is very much a concern. So it will be interesting to see how this shakes out.
It would interesting to see if they like have a waiver or something for like non-private use.
Seems like a very easy problem to fix. You know, all that construction stuff. Those guys have to file permits for everything anyway.
Yeah.
And just be one more permit they have to file on this day. We need to do this, and that should be. They put that in there. I would think that would solve it, but
yeah,
it won't be that easy. I guarantee it.
No, but it should be.
It's done.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what Little Mo's doing, he's watching the Reds game, and it must not be going very well up there.
I didn't want to know what Little Mo was doing.
He was kind of upset. Yeah. He's got one eye on the podcast, one ine on the Reds, and apparently the Reds are not performing well. So we'll
neither of the Mariners. I'm watching.
Goddamn
Jabot,
Dad.
Jacob's Lil Mo's favorite receiver is living up to his name. So anyway,
reliever, not
reliever.
Reliever, yeah. Reliever.
He looks like me. He's like 275,000 pounds.
All right, Will, thank you for the news, sir.
Anytime, Moses.
All right, that'll end the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
We got a lot more show coming up for sure. We're going to talk a lot about the Panthers. In the second half, we're going to have trivia. But before that, let's look back on that victory last week Seahawks had against the Detroit Lions. We'll be right back.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the second quarter.
Yes, welcome to the second quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1107, Panthers edition. But before we go to the Panthers, we want to talk about the Detroit Lions game and the victory from last week for the Seahawks, 37-31 overtime. So Lil Mo and I are donning our ski masks because they were asked to wear ski masks. The Lion fans were to their game. They were blue. Ours is not. I feel like a wrestler. I want you, Will. I want you in the ring, man.
Nacho Libre over
like
there.
We're brothers. Like, yeah. Like we're like
tag team.
Tag team. But that beat as may, I've never looked better on this podcast. So we're gonna keep it on during this portion. Yeah, back in the Skype days. So I've never looked better, but we're gonna talk to Will first about 37-31 victory for Seattle. Will, what was the highlight for you on that?
Well, Moses, I got to tell you, and it feels like I've been saying this over and over, but it was the play of our backup tackles just really impressed me. I mean, only giving up the one sack. They kept Geno upright, gave him time to throw pretty much the whole game. And yeah, they had tight ends chip blocking and whatnot. They were helping him out, but even so, they did better than any one of us had a right to expect. So that was huge, and so did Geno for that matter.
Yeah.
When you look at Geno, his poise, especially after coming back from that ridiculous sack he took at the end of the fourth quarter, I thought the game was over.
Yeah,
but of course, we get it to overtime. Geno takes the ball, drives all the way down the field, boom, touchdown, we win. I was just really impressed with the way he was able to do that, and this may have been his best game as a Seahawk, quite frankly.
it might have been. I don't want to interrupt you, but I don't know if it looks like
I don't know what Little Mo is doing.
Little Mo's doing like a pose for like I don't know.
This isn't OnlyFans, little Mo.
I know it's like
Yeah.
it's like a terrorist OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
Kind of
But,
reminds me a little bit somewhere between that pose of Burt Reynolds on the couch way back when.
Yes,
With,
yes.
That episode of Friends where the dude keeps holding his legs out and they keep seeing down his shorts and he's not wearing
Yep.
underwear. Somewhere
I'm
cross
wearing
between
underwear,
that.
guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, let's not go that kind of show. But yeah, Will, to your points, the tackles were amazing, and Gino definitely had a kind of game that we're used to Gino having when he's on, which is 9 or 10 different receivers. The tight ends played well. Dustin,
Yeah, we're throwing to the tight ends. We
I know
haven't seen
9
like
catches for 100
years.
yards, amazing, or over 100 yards. Dustin, what did you get out of that game?
Well, I'm glad Pete watches the podcast because obviously
Yes.
you heard what
I
you heard what I said last
Why
week.
wouldn't he? I mean, we don't do anything ridiculous. I mean, go on.
Right. So to recap, last week I was talking about how with those tackles being out, we need to do something to help them out against that defensive line.
You did.
With 2 and 3 tight end sets, use those guys and maybe running backs to help chip them, and use those sets quite often to help give them time and space, and use the same kind of formations and then run different plays out of them. It makes it confusing for the defense. So that helped quite a bit, and it showed because Gino was clean pretty much the entire
Yeah.
time. When he didn't get sacked
Yeah.
except for
I don't
the
think
one that
he
was
did.
his fault.
Just the
The
one.
one
Yeah.
sack.
And that was kind of his fault. The way
Yeah.
He
it
may
rolled
have held
down.
on the last play of the game, you know. May have
He
been a
tried to
hold on
ru-
Aiden Hutchinson, but you know.
Yeah.
There,
tried to
there were
Russell
bad-
Wilson it.
There were bad calls for both teams. It's like now that the Pac-12 is dissolving, all the officials have moved up to the end.
Apparently, yeah, that intentional grounding was about the
Oh
my
worst
God.
one I've seen.
God.
What the
Golly.
hell, man?
Yeah. You see plays like that every single game, and it's not
I haven't seen
it's
Pete
not
that hot in a
intentional
while.
grounding. Obviously,
Well,
it's miscommunication.
Dustin, I was watching the Rams-Niners game afterwards. They had the exact same call, exact same situation.
No.
The
Holy
receiver
crap.
broke off his route. Not Stafford. Stafford threw it into the end zone, and they called it intentional grounding. Nobody was near him either. It's like,
Yeah,
what do you-
that's the spirit of the rule. It's clear they have to be pressured, and they're getting rid of the ball in order to avoid a sack.
Exactly. And there
Right.
was
If you-
they had a perfect pocket for once.
No,
Yeah.
it's 2 seconds, so you can't get sacked, you know.
Yeah,
Just
if you're-
instantly threw it. Why would he do that? Makes no sense.
that was ridiculous. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then, I thought the leading to the whole "I'm talking to America" thing, I thought was hilarious,
Yeah.
but we should have had that moment.
It would have been funnier if the penalty really was a penalty.
Yeah,
Because I'm sitting
it
there
was
going,
earned.
yeah, it's really funny. We'll talk to America, get the call right.
yeah,
America's telling you not to screw up the calls next.
Yeah.
yeah. America's talking back to you, sir.
Gino was saying what we were all
America.
saying at home.
Yeah, Gino spoke for all of us. That's right. Little Mo, your thoughts on the game?
I mean, still no pressure, which is cool. But you know, I remember what I was gonna say Jason Myers. He's pretty good at picking.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting for that.
Skills.
Yeah, Jason Myers is, you know,
Not everybody can miss that often.
the second highest paid. He has what same amount of misses than me.
Oh,
I
he's
think?
been all week. Little Mo always. I can't wait for the show. I can't
Oh,
wait
he's
for the
been-
show.
I'll cut him a little slack on that 58-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other two.
The other one was no good from the second it left his foot, though. That's got to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he wide left. I was really afraid he was gonna try and overcompensate and start going wide right.
But let's think positively here, because if he makes those field goals, we put 37 points up in regulation, which tells us our offense is clicking.
True.
You got to think
But
of that.
also,
Thank you,
but
Trey.
also the Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah, but defensively, still got some work to do.
Still decent against the run,
Yeah,
but
held up well against the wall. And we did at the end of that game start to actually see the quarterback a little bit, which was nice to see for once.
Got our first couple sacks of the year.
yeah, by a
and
corner.
first look at Witherspoon. With it being
Oh,
his
Yeah.
NFL debut, didn't have any preseason to go out there and see what an NFL game's like. Didn't have any idea what to expect. And he had a couple of mistakes, obviously.
He's going to.
But he also had a lot of good plays.
He's going to be
Mhm.
special. He's going to
Yeah,
be special.
Broke up that fourth down play.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's going to
And he
definitely be
tackled.
special.
And he can
He-
tackle.
And he can tackle.
I think it was a productive game for him in both the reinforce what you did good and use that to learn from, and then learn from your mistakes. I think you got it
If
on both
one
ends
game
there.
is going to be an indication, I like what we did in the first round with one game, only one game. But yeah, he made mistakes. He's going to. But the thing we saw was upside was amazing, and there's a lot of talent there. That kid is special. I think that he was, and everyone had him as a top 5 pick. I mean, when we drafted him, so it's not a surprise. He shouldn't be a surprise to be that good because everyone had him up there.
And a lot of mock drafts actually had him going to Detroit at 6.
Yeah.
And after we picked him, Detroit traded down. So.
Yeah, the whole world had him, I think, at that. But yeah, great.
On another note, Jahmyr Gibbs looks like he's gonna be a fun player to watch.
Yes. Definitely.
Watch.
Yeah.
He is. We need to get more pressure on the quarterback, though. Hopefully we'll get that this week. But before we do that, let's look at the Posse Prediction Challenge. Well, I go and look at the local banks. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to. I'm going to take this off. But before
FBI's listening.
Yeah, just kidding. Let's look at the Posse Prediction Challenge. Posse Prediction Challenge from last week. Let's see how well, I gotta tell you, I feel a lot better taking that mask off. That was awful. Let's see how we're doing. First, for the score, you may note that Becky had a 6-point win for Seattle, so she gets 2 points for that. And I gave myself 30-23. I'm going with myself on that one. Rigged. Prognostications. We had an interception. Jose got that right. Statsman Mark got that right. We had 2 turnovers. Chris got that right. And that's the only ones there. I was close, 2 sacks instead of 3. Game ball, Metcalf got a ball. Walker got a ball. Lockett got a ball. So I think those were all worthy. And then, of course, the over-under was over. So Mike, Andy, Jimmy, and myself got points there, which tells you that week 2 scores look like this. Mike, Andy, Jimmy, Becky, and Moses with 2. Jose, Chris, Statsman Mark, Maddie, Destin, and Will. There's 11 people on that list. Who's missing?
Me.
Oh, right. Okay. So
even though Jay has sent like 5 catches for like 80 yards, but you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Overall,
I predicted Myers would miss a field goal.
You should. Statsman Mark, Andy, Jimmy, Becky, and Mike all with 3. Chris, Dustin, Will, Jose, Moses with 2. Maddie with 1. Little Mo.
Comeback season, boys.
Nothing yet. So
why did we trade
you know
for
what?
this kid?
What's his it? He's fitting in with our team well, is he not? I mean, he just came in this year. Last year he was on the other team.
Picked it right up. I'm impressed.
This is what
Pick it right
happens
up.
I listened to Madden. That's why.
Don't listen to Madden.
Even though I'm 2 for 2 on wins and losses.
That's true. You
They say
are.
we're going to lose. They say they're going to lose
true.
against the Rams and lose against the.
That's true. And we'll talk about that other Madden game in the 4th quarter. But Team 12 has 16, and we have 11. So it is ever slightly growing that lead for Team 12. So
Don't worry, guys. I'm helping. I'm carrying the team.
You're doing an outstanding job.
He's a
Perfect.
plant. He's still working for Team 12.
Yeah, no
Yep.
kidding.
He's
He's a mole. All right, mole.
Molly.
Mole. Let's go to halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
All right, here we go. Halftime is Panther information from here on out. We have news report. We have injuries. We have fashion. We have weather. We have sermon of Seahawk positivity. We got predictions. All that about the Panther game. But before we do that, it's halftime, which means it's time for the best Seahawk themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia
of the world.
And that is coming up right after this. All right.
Good look for you, little Mo.
Yeah.
I can't see anything.
Because you're looking through your nose.
That's a good look for you.
Thanks.
All the chicks dig it.
Yeah.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Yes, welcome everyone to America's favorite Seahawk themed trivia game on the internet. It is 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
The show that challenges the posse and the listeners and watchers of the show of their knowledge of all things Seahawks. The contestants are the posse themselves, Dustin, Will, and Little Mo, and here are the rules. You have 2 points, 2 rounds of question, 1 point for each question. And after that, we'll have a final question worth 2 points. And if there's a tie, we'll have an ultimate overtime question between the people who are tied. And the winner is crowned 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of this episode and of the world. So,
Of the world.
once per episode, you can take once per first 2 rounds. You can take one of the answers away. It's multiple choice. So we will start with Dustin. Dustin, 1, 2, or 3.
1.
Dustin is 1. Little Mo, 2 or 3.
2.
And 3. There's only one question in these 2 rounds that is a what we call not football question. And it's in the first round. So
Ooh.
one of you has it. It's not Dustin, though. Not Dustin. Dustin, the Seahawks played the Panthers in 2010. How many times did the Seahawks sack Jimmy Clausen in that game? Jimmy Clausen. 1, 2, or 3 times.
He was in a bit of a pickle.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
All right, take one away.
Take one away. 1. He was sacked either 2 or 3 times.
Positivity.
Let's see. That was the year
Positivity
before
channel.
we didn't have Bennett and April yet. I'll say twice.
Let's say twice.
D-Bane's the GOAT, though.
It's 3.
Ah.
It's 3.
Okay.
Said positivity.
Yeah, see? Positivity says Little Mo.
Positivity, not quite yet. Oh, sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Little Mo says positivity, but he has the
I
one
hate this
question.
show.
The one question that is not football related.
I have more of a chance to get this anyway.
What store chain first opened in Charlotte, North Carolina? Was it CVS, Family Dollar, or Walgreens?
Family Dollar? What is it?
CVS, Family Dollar, or Walgreens? We have all those.
I would have guessed waffle.
Nah, all right.
Take one away.
Take one away. Okay, it's either Family Dollar or CVS.
I'll go
I would've
Family
got that wrong.
Dollar. Family Dollar. 'cause
You go
it's not
Family
like the
Dollar?
others.
Got some money? You got it. Family Dollar.
Nice job.
Family Dollar started in
Whoop-de-doo.
Charlotte. Yeah.
Dollar.
Will.
Whack.
First time the Seahawks played the Panthers in Seattle was 2004. How many times did the Panthers sack quarterback Matt Hasselbeck in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
Positivity.
No, I remember that game. On our right tackle was having a devil of a time trying to get anything done.
Devil of a time.
I'm going to say
He's going to say 3 because they had a devil of a time. You're wrong. It was 1.
I would have
Really?
been 3 for 3, baby.
Well, you're only 1 for 1, but you do
Had
have
we
the
already
lead.
picked for Chris Terry by then? I don't know.
Oh, Chris. Oh, my God. Chris Terry. Ooh, flashback. That's crazy. Chris Terry. All right. Little Mo has a point. Dustin, Will, you have no point. We go to the second round.
Hero.
Little Mo, 4, 5, or 6.
4.
Cal hit a
Dust-
3-run home run.
Dustin, 5 or 6.
5.
And Will has a, folks, you can't say our podcast is professional as we're all doing something else. While
Don't
we're
worry. The Reds are still losing to the Pirates with their
I'm-
playoff hopes on the line.
I'm not
watching
doing anything.
sports. I'm watching sports. This is
You're
a sports
doing-
podcast.
You're doing show prep, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Little Mo,
Yeah.
football question. They all are from here on out.
Okay.
Seahawks played the Panthers in 2006. How many touchdowns did Thomas
Ooh.
Rawls have in that game?
Rawlins.
I spelled it wrong, then it's R-A.
Rawless over there.
No,
Thomas Rawless.
I'm gonna go with. I think it's 2. 2.
Oh, he's gonna go with 2.
2.
You are on fire.
Wow.
Nice.
I think I remember that specifically.
Dustin,
Yeah.
the 2006 NFC Championship against the Panthers. How many turnovers did the Panthers have in that game? 3, 4, or 5?
I know Lofa had an interception. I remember that.
The 2.
I was there for that game too. I want to
One.
say it was 5. I think it was 5.
He's gonna say 5.
Positivity. baby.
Oh, it was
4.
4.
I
Yeah,
knew it was a bunch.
I thought it was 5.
it was
Yeah.
4.
I
Will.
remember Lofa about knocked himself out tackling their running back.
Yes. And they were down to like their 3rd stringer or whatever. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
My
They
favorite
pulled
part.
some guy- They pulled some guy out of the stands to run it for him the rest of the
When
game.
Manuel got a roughing call late in the game against, I think, Steve Smith, and Steve Smith saw John, and Manuel just pointed to scoreboard. And it was like 34-7, and he walked away like, okay, 15 yards is 34-7. Will, playoff game in 2016 against the Panthers. How many turnovers did we have in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
Disaster at the beginning.
Take one down and pass it around.
Oh, okay. 2 or 3?
2, please.
2, please. That's the Maddie thing. You're channeling Maddie. 2, please. You got it. Maddie's listening.
Nice job.
All right. So here's what we got. We got Little Mo with 2. We got Will with 1. We got Dustin with 0. But
We're
Dustin,
going to overtime.
overtime's an option because it's time for the final question. All right, final question for 2 points. It is a number. The closest without going over wins 2 points, and it could have overtime. So we'll see how it goes from here. The order will go Dustin, Will, and Little Mo. This was a little trickier than usual. It's no maths. Don't worry about that, Dustin. But here's my question. We all remember in 2015 that wonderful game the Seahawks had against the Panthers in the playoffs. On their way to their second straight Super Bowl. Cam Chancellor had that incredible interception, and it was what a wonderful, wonderful play. And Cam Chancellor, one of the best plays in home field that we've ever had. But my question is, for that game, how many tackles, solo tackles, did Cam have in that game? How many solo tackles did he have in that game? And we're going to start with Dustin. How many solo tackles did Cam have in that game? Solo tackles, not overall tackles, just solos.
I have no idea, but I'm going to keep it Seattle and say 12.
He's going to say 12.
Seems like a
Will.
high number, but still.
Well,
I will say 8.
Oh, son of a...
12 and 8, Little Mo.
I'm gonna go 1.
$1.
He hates Cam Chancellor. Why do you hate Cam Chancellor?
57.
Yeah.
12, 8, and 1. All right. Well, nobody got it on the button, but the amount of solo tackles Cam Chancellor had in that playoff game, besides that wonderful interception return that he had, 9.
Wow.
Will, you are our 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world for episode 1107. Congratulations, Will.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
9 solo tackles and that incredible interception return. Nice stuff.
What was the overtime question going to be? How far it was?
The other question was how many yards receiving did Jermaine Kearse have in that game? And the 129.
Ooh.
So yeah, he had a good game.
Well, he had that one where he caught with one hand. Remember when he caught it with one hand?
Oh yeah.
It was dropped right into his. Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, pretty much. But speaking of having the right catch, Will, congratulations on catching another championship of the halftime trivia.
Thank you, sir.
And this has been another bone-chilling, head-splitting, stomach-turning, heart-palpitating,
toe-stubbing,
butt-rubbing,
Achilles tearing,
no more swearing, mind-blowing,
knee exploding.
Oh, no! Version of your 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
of the world.
We'll be back and talk about that Panther game. We got a bunch of fun stuff coming up to talk about that, and that's coming up right after this quick station identification.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Yes, welcome to the second half of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1107, your Panther edition. We're going to have an injury report. We're going to have weather and fashion. We're going to have a sermon of Seahawk positivity in this quarter. But before we do all that, we want to remind you that Seahawks are playing the Panthers Sunday at 1:05 on the West Coast, 4:05 on the East Coast, and in England, probably 1973. We don't know. But anyway, we are playing the Panthers. And of course, I start off every third quarter by eating something that is related to the area where the team is from. So it is time for, hey, Moses, what you eating?
What's up? What you eating there?
Hey Moses,
What are you eating?
Hey, thanks for asking, guys. So this was a great one to do because as Little Mo is kind of showing there, Krispy
Hurry up
Kreme.
and stop talking.
Krispy Kreme was invented was found by a guy named Vernon Rudolph in North Carolina. And so in 1937, Krispy Kreme started in Carolina.
Weren't you roommates with him or something?
Something like that. So I got donuts from Krispy Kreme, which, I mean, it sure beats anything let's go ahead.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Those are tasty.
Okay, they're not that good. Lil Mo's really excitable.
The day's worth of sugar in every bite.
Okay.
So-
I guess you know why it's cream filled.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Hey,
Not hungry anymore.
All right.
Wait it all.
That's another segment that will get the axe. All right. So,
FTT's
but while
gonna
we're
be
eating our
pissed about that
donuts,
one.
the one thing we want to know is who's going to play in this game. We do donuts. One thing we do. We all do. Everybody poos. One thing we're going to do while we're eating our donuts is ask who's injured in this game by going to Dr. Dustin's injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
All right. Well, we're gonna start with the easy one. Carolina Panthers.
Sadly, not us.
Boo.
Yeah. So Carolina has one player out. Well, I'll say two players out for sure. For you Dub fans that are gonna be watching the game, you'll not see Shaq Thompson. He's on the IR. He got hurt. But
cool.
Bryce Young, their young quarterback, is also out. He's not gonna be playing. He's gonna be backed up by Andy Dalton. So Yep.
Dustin, are you taller than Bryce Young?
doubtful.
Andy Dalton beat it. Didn't Andy Dalton beat us last year as the Saints?
I'm not talking to you about that.
Okay, sorry. Move
Yeah,
on.
but I mean, it would take some hell, really. But anyways,
Yeah.
Oh, Kamara wasn't bad himself.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
You may proceed.
All right. Questionable for this game, outside linebacker Justin Houston. He's got a calf injury. See what happens there. Now on to the Seahawks. This is a long one. All right, so Charles Cross is definitely out. Kobe Bryant is also out. He's got a toe injury he's dealing with now as well.
Ugh. Boo.
Both of them are out.
Not
Doubtful.
cool.
Will Disley with a shoulder injury. I guess he's been dealing with for a couple of weeks.
Uncle Will.
And then Reek Wilson or Woolen. Wow, Woolen. It's listed as a chest, but listening to the radio guys this week, it's a SC joint injury. And it was funny listening to them because none of them knew what the hell it was. Pete didn't even know what it meant.
No.
What does it mean?
It is your sternoclavicular joint is what it stands for. And it has to do with it's like right here.
Oh, okay.
Where your collarbone meets your breastbone or your clavicle meets your sternum. So you got two joints there. It doesn't say if it's right or left side, but with that.
Oh, no.
He was singing.
No. But yeah, that's where his injury is right there. So
what you're saying is nobody knew that, but you know it.
Yeah, I know it.
So we're kind of an exclusive thing here.
Exactly. Yeah, Pete. Again, once Pete listens to this this week, he'll know what that injury is.
If he starts talking about it, we know where it came from. But you proceed. Sorry.
Exactly. All right, and then we got a bunch of questionables. DJ Dallas is questionable. He's got an illness apparently. So we'll see what happens there. Jamal Adams with his knee. He did practice all week. They're still not sure if he's going to play or not. I imagine we'll find out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, obviously. Phil Haynes has a calf injury. Quandre Diggs and Julian Love both have hamstring injuries. Quandre is still expected to play. He thinks he's going to play. Pete said that Quandre thinks he's going to play. We'll see what happens there. Jaron Reed's got a groin injury.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then
DK
Metcalf.
Hold it right off. Sorry. Okay.
And then Metcalf has rib injury, which he hurt last week in the game, came back and played. And he is expected to play this week, but he's still listed as questionable. So I think that is everybody. I may have missed somebody. I don't know. If I didn't say your name, sound off if you're on the injury list, I guess. Yeah,
Did
that was a
Kona,
lot-
did Kona turn into a cat? There was a cat behind you there. I was a little worried.
No, that is Wicket.
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 Wicket the cat.
Yep.
Nice.
Didn't
Named
they put
after
Mike
an-
Morris on IR, by the way?
Yep.
There you go.
Shoulder injury.
Oh man.
And
Yep.
he had surgery, so not only is he on IR, he's done for the year.
Yeah. So the shoulders are
Outstanding.
these ones out here and out here.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you go
Yeah.
slower? I need to take some notes.
They should have
Yeah.
some pads for those things.
They should.
Yeah. But well, thank you for that wonderful well, not wonderful.
Nothing
injury report.
wonderful about it.
Well, thank you for that injury report.
Thanks for bringing us down.
Yeah.
No problem.
So at this time
I'm
in the
positive
show,
there were a lot of injuries.
yeah, that's positive. With this time of the show, we usually turn to a man across the ocean to talk about weather and fashion with the weather and fashion report with Matt from Merry Old England. Oh, Matt. And Matt's not going to answer because he's not here with us. So I am going
What
to
a
present
dick.
the weather and fashion report the best I
don't do it.
can without an English accent. Well, yes, thank you for that interesting intro. So, as you know, Maddie is not here for the weather and fashion report, leaving me to stand in for him. This is not the first time, although they say what happens in Seattle stays in Seattle, and I will move on. So, like Maddie, I attempted to consult Earl about the weather. You all remember Earl, don't you? Well, I tried to reach out to Earl through email, phone call, text, and finally social media, but he never replied, leading me to assume that either I have the wrong Earl or what happens in Seattle doesn't stay in Seattle, and he's thoroughly disgusted with me and won't talk to me. Either
Maybe it's
way,
old Thomas. Maybe it's
left
old
without
Thomas in
Earl.
jail.
Left without Earl to give me the weather, I did what most meteorologists do. I looked out my window. But since my window is about 2,264 miles away from Lumen Field, give or take a few blocks, I went online. There I found the game time temperature will probably be about 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's Fahrenheit because Celsius is for scientists and nerds.
Right,
And every
nerds.
other country but ours.
Yeah, America,
Nerds.
baby.
They're all nerds.
The sky will resemble the Carolina Panthers playoff chances this year, cloudy and miserable, with a 60% chance of rain.
Great.
Now, as for what to wear for this game, if you were Maddie, and I think you would celebrate the Panthers by deciding to wear something gaudy from Black Panther, so you too can say Wakanda wherever, or
Wakanda wherever.
Wakanda wherever, Wakanda forever,
I thought that was on purpose.
or Wakanda or whatever. Or you could dress up like a character from the Broadway musical and box office flop Cats.
Tell
Remember
you what.
Cats? Yes, Cats. The movie that used CGI to put little buttholes on the cats. True story. And listen, any movie that uses CGI for animal anatomy, I don't want to be a part of. So I think Maddie would be reminded of the songs from that show as well. There's Gus the theater cat, Grisabella the glamour cat, and Carolina the pathetic loser cat. Or the big hit Memory, which is what every Panther fan goes through thinking about the 2015 season. But so you can take one of these options, throw a Seahawk jersey over it, and go to the game because it'll be perfect Seahawk weather. Now back to you, Moses. Well, thank you very much. We go from a questionable weather and fashion report to looking at some of the picks for this week with Statsman Mark and Brick's Picks.
We need to get a little Mo one of those life alert things so we know when he falls
I think
down.
so. Yeah, this is happening a lot.
I was putting my teeth back in.
Okay,
Okay.
thank God.
My retainer.
He's got
my
retainer.
retainer's back
Yeah,
in.
because he was eating donuts.
Ah,
Brick is proud to announce that last week, once again, he went 2 for 1. He did not get Houston -1 over the Colts, but he did get the Ravens +3.5 against the Bengals, and he did get the under in the KC Jacksonville game. So overall, Brick is 4-2 this year. He's very proud of that. This week, he says, take the 8.5 points for the Titans against the Browns. He says, the Raiders are given 2.5 against the Steelers. That's not enough. The Raiders are going to win.
Who
Give
do
the
they play
2.5. Well, we would say Las Vegas, but I think Brick would probably say Oakland. But they do play in Las Vegas. And then finally, the Chief and Bear game is at 48. He said take the under for that. So that's Brick's picks. And now let's go to church. Yes, it is I, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the State of Paul Allen Church, a Seahawk positivity. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Distracted mostly. I sound
Mostly,
like.
I think you are. I bet most people watching this do the same thing. We'll be surprised. It's so good to see everyone after a rather profitable trip to Motown. My church organist, Cleolanda, was rather happy after Luckett touched that end zone pylon, and she ran out into the street and started knocking over every construction cone she could find. She caused more accidents on the road than a topless car wash, but I digress. Friends, so glad to be once again here as we move even closer towards the promised land. And as we move forward, we are still basking in the warm glow that is Seahawk positivity. A reading from the book of the 2023 NFL season, chapter 3, verses 7 to 12. They did return home victorious, but from the land of NASCAR arose a herd of kitty cats, and they did not purr, for they roared. They wanted to knock us onto the ground, but within the power of Seahawks positivity, the black cats were sent home battered and bruised and defeated. There's much rejoicing in the world of Seahawk positivity. That is the word, my friends. The power's not gone. It's just started. Can you feel the power? Can you feel it if you feel it? Let's see an amen nice and loud.
I'm in.
I'm in nice and loud.
Well, I don't know what you're in, little Mo. It looks like you're in some trouble if you're wearing a mask. But anyway, if you believe in the power to give our defense the ability to make Panther quarterback Andy Dalton feel like a Red Rider without any ammunition, let's hear it. I'm in nice and loud.
I'm in.
I think I'm in.
If you believe our power to give our offense the ability to score more than Michael Jordan at a Hanes underwear convention, let's hear it. I'm in nice and loud.
I'm in.
I'm in.
He did those commercials a while ago. That's the power, my brethren. We're loud and proud, my told. These little black kitties are about to find out what keep pounding really means when the Seahawks keep pounding their little sorry butts into the ground. This has been your self-appointed Reverend Moses, the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk positivity. Go forth, my brethren. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk positivity. Praise Large and praise Cortez. Praise Walter Jones. Praise Kenny Eastley and go Hawks. Coming up next, it is our prognostications, our predictions, and our game balls for that game between your Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. And that is coming up right after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches!
Yes, welcome to the fourth and final quarter of your episode 1107, your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Seahawks versus Panthers. That is Sunday at 1:05 on the West Coast, 4:05 on the East Coast, and in England, somewhere in time. We don't know. But Seahawks are a 6-point favorite. The over-under is 41.5. But before we do all that, I like to always start by last quarter we ate something associated with the team we're playing, and now I'm going to drink something. And hey, Moses, what you drinking?
Son of a bitch! Come here, Dave.
Hey Moses, what you drinking?
Well, thanks,
Drinking
Will.
Moses.
I'm not sure. I've never had this before, and I'm not a drinker, as you all know.
Well, you're
Cognac, but check out the bottle. Ooh,
That's pretty cool.
It's a Panther bottle, yeah. I've never, as you can tell, I haven't even opened this yet. So I don't even know if I can even get a little bugger open.
Is it waxed on?
Yeah, this is not working very well here. It might be a long show.
Is it waxed on?
I don't know what's going on here. Hold on.
You need to cut off and then just put up a technical difficulty sign.
No, see, this is part of the fun.
Do you
It's
have
me opening.
fire?
I got it. Hold on, I almost got it. Well, that didn't go well. Hold on. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's got a fork. Ooh, ooh, look at. Ooh. Boop, boop.
Can't make good enough noise. Do it
That
again.
is pork.
Okay. Yeah, a little
Just take a
fork.
swig.
Chug,
All
chug.
right, I'm just
chug,
no.
chug, chug.
It's gonna take a little bit, just a little bit of this cognac.
What?
Oh, let's
Come
see.
You
on.
gotta do at least 2 fingers worth.
Oh,
Yeah.
fine.
Come
Are
on,
you
man.
happy?
You gotta chug it.
Are you happy? Are you not entertained?
That's still one finger. You got
Woo,
big
I
fingers.
can smell it too.
Not infant fingers.
Woo! I can smell it too. Here we go.
You got sausage fingers.
Wow.
The burn going down a little bit.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait.
Woo!
Chug it.
Mercy. Okay,
I-
so coming up now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dickie V.
You like Doc Brown and Back to the Future as half a drink.
Once again,
Smells
cognac.
Yeah.
This cool. That's
Let's
cool.
make some weight.
Panther.
I know you might be
Woo!
asking, what are we gonna do with that? It's gonna sit in our
We
fridge
have
for
so
about
much alcohol in
15
our house
days.
now, so I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna like just go pass it out to people.
Don't worry, I'll drink it all. Just kidding,
Party at
guys.
Moses' place. No.
Yeah, yeah, really. So anyway, that was cognac, and that reminded me a lot of whiskey. Maker's Mark, to be honest, which is the only whiskey I've ever had, but that's very
Okay.
whiskey. It's got a very, my throat is burning right now, so that's exciting. So while my throat burns, it's time to look at Little Mo's Madden Challenge. All right, every week, Little Mo plays the game we're going to play on his Madden game. Now, he doesn't play it. He lets them play each other, and he did the Seahawks and Panthers. But before we go there, we want to recap from last week. Last week, the Seahawks won 37-31, and in Madden, Little Mo, according to Madden, they won 34-7. And something that came out of that game that actually happened is Lockett had 2 touchdown catches, and he had 2 touchdown catches in the real game. So that was kind of exciting. So Little Mo,
and 2 for 2 on wins and losses. They say we lose against the
you
Rams.
are, yeah.
And win against the
Oh, that means we got to have a win here, Little Mo. Tell us what's going on.
So I did, by the way, put Andy Dalton in to play for Bryce Young because I knew that was
Nice
he
job.
wasn't going to
Did
play.
you take our tackles out too?
They're already out.
Okay.
And then the other ones I didn't. Who cares? Anyway,
Yeah.
first drive of the game, Tyler Lockett a 9-yard touchdown pass from Geno Smith.
Woo!
Yay!
Next, and then Geno Smith to Tyler Lockett, a 44-yard touchdown pass.
Yay!
14-0.
Like it.
Zach Charbonnet with a 1-yard touchdown, 21-0. Start of the second quarter.
Woo! You can breathe.
Panthers make a 51-yard field goal, 21-3.
Oh,
Panthers make another 51-yard field goal. They were both 51 yards.
Nice.
21-6 with 1 minute left in the second. 21-6 at halftime. Panthers get a 15-yard touchdown to Chuba Hubbard.
Uh-oh.
A nice name.
Yeah.
21-13.
Ooh.
Jason Myers makes a 43-yard field goal, 24-13.
Woo!
Start of the fourth quarter, 27-yard field goal for the Panthers, 24-16.
one
The
score.
Panthers missed a 57-yard field goal, so it's 24-16 still. The Seahawks make a 32-yard field goal with 56 seconds left, 27-16. Seahawks win.
Nice. So we pull a Rams and we do a last second field goal when we're up by 8.
Well, it was 4th down.
I know, I'm
So,
just saying. Yeah.
Except our kick wouldn't affect the spread.
Right.
Yeah, true. Geno Smith, the stats of the game. Geno Smith, 16 for 20 for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Nice.
Andy Dalton, 18 for 29 for 200 yards and 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker, 16 rushes, 55 yards. Zach Charbonnet, only 3 rushes, but had a touchdown. Miles Sanders had 18 for 59 yards. Lockett, 8 receptions for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Ah, nice.
Noah Fant 3 for 33, DK Metcalf 3 for 26, and 500 penalties. I'm just kidding. Adam Thielen 5 for 77 yards, Hayden Hurst 5 for 44 yards, and DJ Chark 4 for 53 yards. Bobby Wagner led the team in tackles, 3 tackles for loss for Uchenna Nwosu, 2 for Jamal Adams, 1 for Draymond Jones, Moya Mafe, Jaron Reed, and Jordan Brooks.
Damn.
Sacks for Uchenna Nwosu, Daryl Taylor, and Jaron Reed.
3 sacks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Panthers tackle leader was Frankie Louvu. Tackles for loss for Dante Jackson, Justin Houston, Deshaun Williams, and Shai Tuttle. And a sack for Deshaun Williams and Frankie Louvu.
All right. Nice. All right. So 30, I heard 27-16. All right.
Yep.
27-16. Let's hope. So go 3 for 3 on that. Like I said, Seahawks 6-point favorites. The over-under in this game is 41.5. Let's see what we think is going to happen on the field. Jose says score 24-16 Hawks. Prognostication, Seahawks get 3 or more sacks. Game ball to Nwosu. I'm talking to America right now. That's what he said. Yeah. Mike, 24. Seahawks 24. The Panthers 20. They'll be panting after trying to chase down our receivers and running backs. Game ball to Metcalf prediction. Myers makes a 50 or more yarder. A little Mo. Chris, Seattle 20,
no points.
27. Kitties 17. Hawks get 3 sacks. Game ball to DK. This is the way. Andy 27-10. Seattle. K9 with 100 yards and a touchdown. Game ball to K9. Jimmy, after a huge win on Sunday, the Hawks will come back ready to roll. The offense is blocked in. They pound the rock a lot more in this one. Hawks win 27-16, which is your score on your game. Prognostication, Walker with a touchdown. Game ball to Walker. Becky, 45-17. Seahawks, Disley a touchdown. And Lockett the game ball. Now for our team, Statsman Mark said Seahawks 27, Panthers 16. Again, your score. Seahawks D gets 3 sacks. Game ball to Witherspoon. Maddie sent his in and said, so Seahawks against Panthers. This is a must win for family reasons, if nothing else. My sister can't win bragging rights all year. Not acceptable. His sister is a huge Panther fan. And she's a wonderful lady. Vanessa, we love you, babe. So score will be Seahawks 23, Panthers 17. Game ball to K9 and prognostication. Watch Rocker run for his first 100-yard game this season. Little Mo, what you got for us?
31-23 Seahawks.
All right.
Lockett will get a touchdown, and I'll give him my game ball.
Wow. Okay. Dustin.
I think with the kicking game gets right, like you were saying earlier, and the offense clicking a little bit better, I think we'll double them up. 17-34.
Oh, okay.
And then with Metcalf being a little banged up, I think Njigba's going to have a chance to have more of a breakout game. So I'm going to give him 100 yards.
Oh, Bobo.
And a game ball.
Or Bobo.
Here's a quick stat. Bobo, we've won every game he's had a catch in. He had 1 catch last game. He didn't have a catch in the first game.
Look out.
Never
Bobo
lost
Mania.
on Bobo.
Check it. Bobo Mania. Will, are you a Bobo bro?
I am a Bo bro.
Bo bro. What do you got for us on this game?
Well, anytime we play a backup quarterback, it gets a little dicey, and Andy Dalton's beaten us 4 out of 5 times.
Yeah.
I still think we win, but it's going to be a little tricky. I say Seahawks 27, Panthers 24.
All right.
JSN gets his first NFL touchdown, and I'll give him my game ball.
Everybody's rooting for JSN. I don't blame you. All right, I guess it's my turn, so you guys can go back to your baseball.
I never left.
Yeah, I know.
Me neither. That's what I'm watching too.
I'm not surprised. And Will, now what will you going on? Do you mind? I'm talking to America here. All right. Last week's game was a welcome sight for Seahawk fan eyes, even though it wasn't the perfect ending. A win is a win, especially on the road in a horrible environment, not just in the stadium, but outside as well, I'm sure, because it's Detroit. But I digress. The Seahawks come home to face the Carolina Panthers this week. The Panthers are coached by Frank Wright, who incidentally is a junior, which makes him the second Wright. So if he had a son and called him Frank, he'd be Frank the third Reich. So far, he has 3 daughters. But his daughters are all blue-eyed and blonde, so you can fill in the gaps. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, no.
Offensively,
Wow.
they're usually
Offensively.
led by Bryce Young, or at least they were until the little fella got in an accident and hurt his ankle. I'm not sure how it happened, but I have an idea to how it might happen. He probably fell off his little step stool, stepping up to talk on the microphone at a press conference.
It happens.
Or maybe he, busted his ankle when he was practicing making all those wonderful toys for his boss in the North Pole. Either way, I'm sure Dustin can relate.
I've seen him there.
Yeah. With their starting quarterback on tiny little crutches, which are probably adorable. They turned to grizzled veteran Andy Dalton, who looks like he took his look inspired by Willie the groundskeeper from The Simpsons. Defensively, they already have 8 sacks as a team. And FYI to all Seahawk fans out there, a sack is when a defensive player tackles his quarterback behind a line of scrimmage, usually during a pass play and before the quarterback can throw the ball. That's something that we haven't seen much of.
Down.
Yeah. The Panthers
So that's
are
why we're paying Ochanomosu? Oh,
basically. So maybe we'll see some. I don't know. The Panthers are 0-2, but they look to win their first game before Bryce Young grows too tall to leave their team. But not this week. Watch my game ball, Tyler Lockett. Continue his tear by catching 2 more touchdowns. Not 1, 2. Here, kitty. Time to get pounded as the Seahawks win by a score of 34-20. Book it. And we shall book the end of this show. We want to thank you for taking time to listen to us and hope you had fun. We hope you maybe learned a little something. We all learned what the hell what so-and-so's got injured in his chest.
ST joints, sternoclavicular.
Sternoclavicula. It's better than the perineum. We're not
Clavicular.
going there. Let's not go to, what was that, the perineum? We're not going there.
Yeah. All right.
Perpendicular.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Scrotum.
But, thank you. On behalf of
Sternoclavicular.
Will,
joint,
Little
yeah.
Mo, Dustin, Maddie, and Sassman and Mark, wherever they are, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the church. Say it's Island Church of Seattle Positivity.
Yeah.
Say until next time. I don't know. I've only had a little bit of the cognac.
I was going to say.
Go Hawks! Panther, no pants. We're going to win this week.
Okay.
See what I did there?
No.
I'll tell you
He's
later.
like, no, I'm still confused.
Everyone is watching this show.
I'm confused and scared.
All right.